Welcome to the Nurburgring, or the Nordschleife, or I guess it's the Nurburgring Nordschleife, but whatever. It's a really long track, 3 laps of it in the GR86 Cup car, super fun car track combo, and I am starting all the way back in P18, because in this series they're usually just 15-minute races, so there's no qualifying at this track, so they just take your car number and slap you in that spot on the grid. But anyway, as we come around the final corner for the first time this race, on the formation lap, technically, Max Verstappen's over in the grass there. And we come up to turn 1. This is turn 1, taking it nice and easy, but somebody is on the grass and in the wall. That is going to impede the next couple cars' runs majorly, so we pick up 3 free positions from that, going from P18 now up into P15. Just a quick look back at what happened. This guy in the no livery GR86 decides to absolutely send it on the guy in the Max Verstappen livery, who's actually a major player in this race. He gets shunted off into the grass, and these guys behind, Hello Kitty clips the wall behind him, and he just does not slow the car down, does not turn in, touches the grass, touches the curb, and is in the wall. Back on board with us as we head through the very fast sector. I hate this sector because I'm really slow in it, but apparently so are the guys in front of us, as they get terrible runs. I'm actually lifting and keeping it in second, where I would usually be in third here, to avoid contact with them. I'm not that close, but if I go any harder, I'm going to make contact coming out. As you can see, I get a way better exit out of this corner than the guys ahead, and as we now come down towards the straight leading up to Flugplatz, I think the corner is called. As we come through it, Max Verstappen touches the curb, the other guy goes into the grass, they both get terrible runs. I have to lift to avoid Max Verstappen, could have probably shifted down into 4th there to regain some torque, but I kept it in 5th, overtaking the one guy, another free position for us. And now we're on Max Verstappen's tail as we come down through Schrodenkreuz, I don't know what this corner is called. I know it leads into Arenberg though. Little lift on the way in, just to keep the car close to the inside, and then hard on the brakes as you come down here through Arenberg. Scrubbing my front tires a little bit, but I had a great run through the corner. Verstappen didn't really, and he's just going to slow me up just a little bit. Now looking behind me, take a look at that guy in the Coors Light livery. He's a pretty major player for this race. Just his name's Will Snyder, but a consistent theme is that he, for some reason, really likes my rear bumper. So just watch out for him as we come up through Foxhole. And yeah, here it is. First little love tap lets me know that was there. Thankfully, iRacing, that was a 0x. The iRacing gods have been really nice with that lately, giving me 0x's as opposed to incident contacts. Anyway, we come down now through the very long straight, heading up towards Rebel Tree, and the very fast left-hander, which you just lift for. Sometimes if you're going side by side, you might want to brake a little bit. But we come up through here, and I'm right on Verstappen's tail. Sorry, he's not Verstappen. He's car number 4. He's definitely not Max Verstappen. He's just wearing the Max Verstappen livery. But we now come through up towards the slowest part of the track, down into first gear, a little brake, back on the gas. Now you shift down into first. I completely missed the apex, but car number 4 ahead of me misses it worse than I do. Goes off into the grass as we come down this kind of straight towards one of my favorite corners on the track. Very pretty section. Just chuck the car down into the corner in 3rd gear really fast, come out, touch the curb. Will Snyder took a great line through there, and then you shift just maybe into 2nd. I short shifted into 3rd coming up here, which gave Will Snyder a way better run than I did, and I'm going to lift off and let him have the position just for now, because I know I can probably reclaim it later if anything does go wrong. But we're now coming down towards one of my scariest corners on the track, this one here. I don't know its name. All I know is it's killed me many, many times in practice and testing sessions. I always forget it's there. And now down the very long straight. This is kind of a nice mental break as a driver, but it leads up to the mutt curve, which is this one here. And Will Snyder and car number 4 are going side by side through there, which loses them both a lot of time to me, because you have to lift there. And this incident behind, not really anything to do with my race, I just thought it was kind of funny. This guy just eats the curb and then sends the other guy into the wall, does a nice 180, and he just kind of sits here as opposed to rejoining. I mean, really respectful from him, waiting for other people to come by. And yes, there are other cars that do come by, but he is going to just sit back and wait for them. Super kind. he rejoins, and back on board with us as we come up now towards the carousel for the first time during this race. Super crucial corner, one of my favorites on the track. I'm terrible at it, but I absolutely love the corner. It's so fun, and if you get a good run through here, you can gain a lot of time, or if you get a bad run, you'll lose a lot. You can gain like 3/10 if you get a good exit on the car ahead. But anyway, this is the section of the track now that I really don't know anything about, like, at all. I'm really comfortable from the start up till around here, right after the carousel, and then after this, I'm kind of flying blind till the end of the track because I don't really know. All the corners seem to look the same to me, is what I'm trying to say. And I haven't done a whole lot of practice. I mean, I think at this race I've done like 5 laps. So anyway, skipping ahead towards the end of the lap, Will Snyder completely screws up the carousel, and I'm going to capitalize on that, gain a 10th or so on him as we come down towards the very, very long Dottinger straight. You don't want to hug the inside line here, mostly because it gets quite... You scrub your front tires and you lose a lot of speed on the exit towards the straight coming out here. But down here, it's all about slipstream. And as we come down towards the end of the straight, I've got a lot of overspeed. And Max Verstappen, or car number 4 ahead, peeks out, and I'm going to bump him down the straight, and we get well past the guys beside. I'm going to now think about a move going up on car number 4 here, but these corners are a very easy place to die if you touch a curb, so I'm going to lift off and let him have the position, take it super easy, and this is where this race gets interesting as we come around the final couple corners for the first time this race, and begin to cross coming on to lap 2. I get a way better run than Mr. Verstappen, car number 4. I'm going to cut for a switchback, but I eat some curb, and that screws my run up well over what it should have been. Skipping ahead now, I get tapped on the rear, and yeah, Will Snyder just spun me out. And I'm in 3rd gear, which is obviously not ideal for torque, so I shift down into 1st, and I lose, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions there, throwing me from, I think, 4th up into 9th. So that was a real pain. Bad driving from him. I mean, maybe I was braking too much or whatever, but I feel like that was entirely on him. As we come down yet again towards Flugplatz for the second time this race, on board with the car ahead, going through Schrodenkreuz, he is going to get a much better run than the car ahead and just absolutely send it, just not get on the brakes. He is not getting that stopped at all, and Hello Kitty's in the gravel. And as we come around this corner, we are going to pick up the pieces of that, take another free position up into P8, and as we come down through Foxhole again, yet again one of my favorite sections of this track, the car is going to start topping out at around 210, 215, which is not really fast, but it's the fastest for this car. Skipping ahead now towards the very long straight, I am deep in the slipstream of the car in front, looking for any opportunity I can get to get around him, and I'm going to find one, just have enough overspeed to get alongside, and as we come up towards the muck curve, he's going to recognize that if we go side by side, we're going to lose a lot of time, so he says, hey, let's work together, and he's going to back off. And just up ahead of me, Max Verstappen, car number 4 is in the grass, and we are running way up onto him now as we come up towards the carousel for the second time this race. And as we do that, he's going to brake super early. I'm going to just bounce into him there. Thankfully, that was another 0x. iRacing, you're too kind. And as we come down towards the sector, I don't really know. It's pretty much just going to be me running up through this guy's. And as we come through here, he makes a huge mistake. I am going to capitalize on that, take another free position, promoting us up, I think, back into P7. And as we come down through this sector yet again, I don't really know it. I dislike it a lot, mostly because there's a couple of corners that are pretty much the same sequence. But the rest of this race is going to be me pretty much just trying to find this guy and skipping ahead to the end of the next lap as we come through the second to final corner, the mini carousel. This guy goes way off, and I'm going to capitalize that. That throws us up into P7 as we come around now the final corner, and at this point I am just praying that my slipstream is not strong enough to give him a tow to pass me down the Dottinger straight. And you can see I'm hugging it super tight. I get a great run onto the straight. Behind me, it's about 9/10 or so he does not get the best run. And thankfully, as we come around the final few corners of this race, My slipstream was not strong enough to give him a tow, and we are going to come across the final corner and cross the line in P7. Super fun race, super crazy, lots of drama, but the next one's got even more. Anyways, on to race 2. This time around, as the safety car takes off, we are starting in P11, which is much further up than we were last time, just considering we started in P18 for the last race. As we come around the final couple corners of the track for the first time this race, keep an eye on that blue car. He does something quite interesting, not the one in the Golf livery, the one next to me, as there's a little bit of contact going on up ahead, or side-by-side action going down through T1, and those two cars have an incident in the future in this race. But overall, so far, clean start, a little bit of blinking, but nothing serious, and back on board with us as we come down through turn 1. I try to sneak around the outside of this Golf racing car, but that's not going to happen. This guy bumps this guy, who goes off, does a sick jump, and then a grind on the barriers across. So cool, so tough, and he slows down a couple of people, but nobody was collected in that. I don't know how. Pure luck. Here it is from his onboard view, just so you can see a sick little grind go on. This guy sneaks up my inside, and yeah, does a grind along the barriers. That was something else, man. I saw that in my rearview mirror, and I was thinking, that's immediate content, so there it is, one more time, just a little view from the far chase cam, and just before we head back on board with us, yeah, coming down into this sector again, which I always say I'm slow through, but apparently so is everybody else, because I'm always faster than the guys in front. I've caught, that was a 2 or 3/10 gap, and now I'm right behind him, coming up ahead, and that was probably due to the blue car up in front in that purplish blue livery, who is another major player in this particular race. As we come down the straight towards Flue Platz for the first time this race, it's all about slipstream coming up here, and big long chain of cars, nothing super exciting. But as we come up through Flue Platz, the guy behind me is going to have a way better run again. That's the guy who murdered the other, who caught the other guy doing a grind on the barrier. But as we come now down towards Schroedenkreuz, I'm going to lift off, let him have the position, and just up ahead, Red Bull's going off, a couple of guys are going side by side, and the Golf racing car is going to go taste the wall. He was magnetically attracted to it or something, because he just dipped a tire in the dirt and then boom, in the wall. And so that's going to give us another free position. We'll never say no to that. Purple car heads in the barrier, and as we're coming down towards Foxhole, this gets a little bit interesting, because this guy doesn't acknowledge that the other guy exists and just does that. Yeah. Here, just drives over the nose and gives him the absolute death stare as he just rolls down the grass backwards, staring that guy in the face. And both of these guys, I think, just left and quit the race. But it's not over, as the blue car's just driving through the corner, just cutting it entirely in the grass as we go up through here. I'm going to get a way better run than both of these guys, because he had to lift to avoid the blue car coming down towards the very fast left-hander, and I'm going to go side by side through here. Never really done this, wouldn't recommend it. It's not great for either of your runs. Just lifting a little bit earlier than usual. He was touching the brakes, tiny bit of contact, nothing serious, and I'm going to brake super early and let him take that position back, but he drives off into the grass, so we're right on his ass. Skipping ahead now to the very long, is it the back straight technically, or is it the front straight? I don't really know. It's one of the long straights on this track, but this Golf racing car gets a monster run, touches the curb, a little bit of contact, yet again, nothing serious. Overall, pretty clean racing, and he's alongside. And I'm thinking, as we come up towards the mutt curve, if they're going side by side, I'm going to gain a lot of time on the guys in front here. Not so much that it's going to be giving me any positions, I don't think, but the Golf racing car eats the curb, and I'm having to lift. I probably could have shifted down into fourth again. I did there, actually, and I managed to sneak by him as we come up towards the carousel, or the corner leading to the carousel, for the first time of this race. And now skipping ahead, this blue car is impeding myself, this pink car, and this Golf racing car, because I don't know if he's never really driven the track, hasn't got much practice or whatnot, but he's ridiculously slow through this entire sector. And the pink car, he got ahead of him, and you'll see in a minute, he's gone. But the Golf racing car is right behind me, and as you can see, he's clearly impeding both myself and this guy. as we come down through the sector of corners that seem to look all the exact same to me. Anyway, skipping ahead to the final couple of corners, he's going to go super deep, and I say, fuck it, I'm going along. He tries to cut me off there, but does it way too late, give him a little bump, and I'm going to try to hold it around the outside of the carousel, which I actually do, considering he takes it super easy through there, super conservative. Gave me a lot of space after a little bit of contact, but I somehow managed to make that move stick, get alongside, and then just pull ahead. He's car number 3, too, which doesn't make any sense. Maybe he's new, but coming down the Dottinger straight, lots of slipstream going on, and now he's back alongside, and I'm thinking I'm going to let him by because I do not want to die in this sector. This is a spot where I've died a couple of times, and I try braking early, but he brakes before I do to let me have the position. So a little bit of mutual scaring going on there as we come around the final corner for, technically it's the second time this race. First time, a little bit of oversteer on the exit as we cross onto lap 2, but nothing detrimental. Skipping ahead to the very long straight, coming towards the mutt curve again. I lift off to let this guy pass, but I lift off way too much, and he takes that position from me. And as we come towards the carousel again, not a super bad run by any means, but I've closed up the gap just a little bit, and pretty much the rest of this race is going to be me trying to catch this guy. As you can see, we come down here, he's pulled a little bit of a gap towards me on the Dottinger, and as we come around the final corners for the second time under green this race, third time overall though, go through there, I get a great run, but so does he as we cross onto lap 3. And I'm going to skip pretty much right to the end of the race, because nothing happened that lap. It was just me trying to chase him. And as we come down towards the final couple of corners, I've got about 9 seconds to the car behind, and I'm just not going to slow the car down enough, touch the curb, and fuck. Do one little 360, somehow get the car facing the right direction, shifting down into first, and you can see the guy behind is right on our heels. And as we come out here, he's got way more overspeed than I do. And he's going to look for a move down the inside, and I'm just praying he messes something up, because I want to hold on to this position, and he does! He touches some curb, and as we come down the Dottinger, I have a way better run than him coming out of here. Maybe I squeezed him a little bit, but I feel like it was really clean racing, so I'm not quite sure, but it was perfectly enough, because as we come down through the final couple corners for the final time, we are going to hold on to P5 for this particular race. That was a really fun week. I really enjoy the Nurburgring. Great track car combo. Anyway, here were the results. Gaining a lot of I rating and a little bit of safety rating. Still on track to be promoted by the end of the season. Maybe even before then, which would be super amazing. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Anyway, cheers.